Good morning, my trippy hippies. Good morning. It is Tammy coming to you live from my office on this beautiful Tuesday, June 20th. Morning. We had a couple of days off. It has been nice. I'm going to give you a few minutes to jump on here this morning. If you could do me a favor when you do jump on here this morning, though, because this is way more fun with friends. If you could do me a favor, say hello, tell me where you're watching from, and drop us a grateful fed in the comments when you get on here today. Let's see here. Live now. Just let my brand ambassadors know they knew I was coming live. But Facebook is hiding my stuff in the algorithm. It happens. It's normal after you get on restriction, you get grounded. They love to be able to put you on restriction and hide all your stuff. Ooh, I didn't know I was going to do that. Let's do this. So good morning, Melissa. Good morning. Good morning from Appomattox, Virginia. And she's going to drop us a grateful fed in the comments. And we're going to tell you this morning to be like Melissa, because just it takes a few seconds to do that. When you comment, when you like, when you thumbs up stuff, it helps the live, because you're not on restriction, move up in the algorithm. Thank you, Elizabeth. So it also says good morning from Crew, Virginia. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I love it. Grateful fed, be like Melissa. I love that picture too. Melissa sitting down there by the lake looking so happy. Elizabeth Clark knows how to do it too. I love y'all so much. Tag a friend, give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts, all the things today. We are going to be talking about all things summer solstice updates. We're going to be talking about some interesting pieces and parts of going on around the world. We're going to pull our weekly crystal card this morning. We did take yesterday off, which I needed it so much. Tell me in the comments this morning, because I want some interaction. So tell me, how did you spend your Father's Day weekend, and how did you spend your Monday? Did you do something fun yesterday? Did you have to work? Did you have the day off? What did your Monday look like? So yesterday morning, I got up and I had these orange cinnamon rolls, like just the old Pillsbury can. I saw them in the store, and I just love those for some reason. They're just like a little guilty pleasure. I love those little orange glazed cinnamon rolls. And so I got up yesterday morning, and I literally got up, like before I even went to pee and all that. I went straight to the coffee pot, made a pot of coffee, started preheating the oven, came out of went to the bathroom, came out, put my cinnamon rolls in, and had a little morning moment. I went out on my deck, drank my cup of coffee, fishing and family fun this weekend. And then yesterday was I love it. So I sat out on the deck yesterday morning for a little bit. It was kind of it looked like it could have been a lot more crisp than it was. It was a lot of it was real heavy and humid. So I am here in Farmville, Virginia, for those of you that are everywhere else in the world. Not far from Appomattox, right? Not far from Appomattox, not far from Crew. But y'all know how the weather was. It was a little more humid, a little more heavy air than I anticipated. So I didn't stay outside long, but I did want to get outside and get some fresh air. And I'll tell you why. So I try, and I always tell everybody on here, right, that I am as authentic as my food. But lately I have not felt that way, because I have not been in my morning, in my spiritual routine of getting myself centered and getting my energy figured out before I come and try to share energy with other people or hold space for other people or whatever else that may look like. So if you're just joining us this morning, please do me a favor and say hello. Tell us where you're watching from, and drop us a grateful fed in the comments if you don't mind. If somebody can share this for me over to our private group, if someone can tag a friend below, because today's message, I think, is one for the masses, right? And I am live in a couple of places. I am live on my personal page. I am live on the Hometown Hippie business page, and I am live on our YouTube channel. So while you're doing that, I'm going to see what you all were up to this week, and then we're going to jump into getting in flow and being authentic and being your true authentic self. So Melissa said they spent the weekend fishing and family fun the weekend, and then yesterday was her lazy day. Elizabeth said she went to Bugs Island to meet with family camping there on Sunday. Had a day at the lake swimming. I love that. Hi, Kristen from South Hill. I love that so much. We're asking how you spent your weekend, if you had the day off yesterday, what your plans were. And we're talking about getting in flow, especially coming into the summer solstice. So I have been, and a lot of you that are following me that are here know that I have been on the struggle bus lately. Good morning from Toledo, Ohio. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you all for showing up this morning. Great. I love it. So Heather knew to be like Melissa and Elizabeth and say good morning where she's watching from and drop us a grateful fed. So did Kristen because she remembered to do all the things as well. But I have been energetically struggling. And um, I know, right? I know why, because if I'm not, I'm right. If I'm not changing it, I am choosing it. So the longer I went down the spiral of choosing it, I took a second and I said, stop. Hey, what's up from Amanda Giorgetti from hot and sweaty Florida? Thank you for joining this morning, right? I have been struggling. And then I was like, how do I get out of this loop? What do I do to get out of this loop? Like my brain knows all the things. My brain knows stop the stinking thinking. My brain knows um, so Kristen says I felt very in flow. Then once I got back from New Orleans, I've been having bad dreams and heavy anxiety of feelings of dread, reasons unknown. So I'm going to tell you a couple of things. I'm glad that you said that, Kristen, because I'm going to talk about that. Me too, right? Me too. I have had more anxiety and more like feeling of dread and heaviness and all this stuff lately, and it's because um, we are getting ready to come into this huge energetic light activation energy from the summer solstice. So from now, this week when the summer solstice is tomorrow at 10:58 a.m. until the 8/8 Lionsgate portal, we're in a very big energetic. It's a portal time. It's a opening. It's a portal. All those things. So we have an option, right? It's time for us to do things differently, to step out of the old ways of doing things, especially stepping out of that masculine energy and that going, the doing of things, the being and the being of the momentum, the going, the work hard, the very logical part of our brains, right? As we go into this next time, this awakening, this ascension time, we need to be able to lean in to the more feminine, intuitive, trusting, softer, gentler way of being. And for some of us, we are gripping so hard on that. This is how we've had to operate to get things done in this world. Going, doing, being logical, being the bull in the china shop is the image I'm getting. Anybody else understand this? Can I get some thumbs up, some hell yes, some yeah? I feel the same way. It is like you're feeling like you're kind of ripped in two, like there's two parts of you. It's like, right? So it's time for us to let go of the old ways of doing things. And this, what I heard this morning, which is so very important, right? With the sun, with the light, um, the contrast, right? There is no shadow without the light, right? The light creates the shadow, which means we have to do the shadow work. We really have to release, let go of this old way of being for the final time. This is the time that we are being called to let it go, right? And um, that's what's happening. That is what's happening. Um, we have to lean into the new way of raising the vibration of trust and all those like fear-based things, right? The anxiety, the dread, the fear, the jealousy, the anger, all of those are low vibrating emotions and low vibrating things that make us feel very weighted down and very heavy and very out of flow. When you raise that to the next best the next best feeling thought, and you continue to raise that vibration up to joy and trust and happiness, and you're in flow and you're light and you're airy and you're getting it done and all of that, you raise the vibration, you leave all that, you don't feel weighted anymore, right? It's time to move into that higher vibrating energy pattern and stay there, right? We have all, I kind of feel like I've always had like, I do this all the time, but I also sometimes feel very cut in half. Like there's a part of me that, is still like rooted and moored into that lower place because it's the human experience. And there's a part of me that knows, like, it's like reaching so far for that higher vibrating feeling. And it's time to kind of bring those two things to some symbiotic middle ground and allow ourselves to um, release that, to let it go, no longer serves us. And I'm going to be authentic with y'all today. I'm glad that y'all are on here watching this morning. So give me some thumbs up, some hearts, because I'm going to tell you a story. I was telling this morning, I went outside yesterday. I felt like I wasn't in flow. I've been trying to listen to some podcasting or some audible books versus other things lately, kind of like fill my brain with stuff. So this morning, as I was getting ready, I put on a YouTube video around summer solstice because last night I did a card reading for my niece, for my sister, and for myself. And then we did a meditation last night. And at our class on Saturday, we did our cake decorating class. I really stopped and I was like, what is the purpose of what we do? What sets us apart? Why am I here teaching this class? And it's because of the light energy and the healing energy. And so for the last couple of days around all of this stuff, like Kristen, I had these weird feelings, but I also knew that I needed to seek out this higher feeling. If I'm going to do these things, I need to be in a higher vibrating place to go interact with new people, to go cater. We have to do that, right? So I was feeling very torn in half and being able to put my best self forward. We went into the cake decorating class and I took all of the pieces and parts. I even pulled a crystal card. This was the crystal card that came out, and it was Speak Your Truth. And I'm going to tell y'all, when I was in that class on Saturday, I'm going to start with Saturday. So Saturday was our busiest Saturday. We had people and everything, every location in Farmville. We had things going on everywhere. We were very out in the world on Saturday. And I was very anxious. That same thing that Kristen said, I felt very in flow when I got all things booked, right? But then the day up, I started getting Friday, Thursday started, I was either screaming or crying. Friday, I came in and like set some stages, got some things straight, and started that process of getting back to flow when I kind of lost my shit, was having all of this stuff, right? So we're going to start with Saturday and we're going to go through today. Okay. So I promise you, I'm not going to keep you all day, but I'm going to tell you a story. I think it will relate to a lot of y'all. Y'all here for it? Can I get some hell yeses, some amens? Can you tag somebody in the comments for me? Okay. So Saturday I got up. I was like, we got all these things going on. How do I center my energy? So I knew Saturday morning I needed to take some deep breaths. I needed to ground myself. I put my feet in the dirt. I had to do that. Okay. When I came in, I was like, you know what? I am going to remember why I'm here. And I sat down and walked into the room and I took a deep breath. And Grace, it started on Friday. We started like getting ourselves kind of back in flow. But Grace wrote herself a note before she left on Friday. And I saw it when I came in Saturday. And it's like, smile, relax, remember it's just fucking food, right? We hold ourselves to a standard, right, that is up here, like way up here, way up in the heavens. And we operate from a place of out of flow, out of fear. And that was the pattern, right? You believe that if you like worry and stress and you're anxious over it, it's going to make it better. But I'm going to tell you, when we're in flow, it's better. And so that's what we knew. We knew Friday coming in here, like, you know what? Things are going haywire on Thursday because we're not in flow. Friday, we stopped. We set intentions. We lit candles. We smudged the space. Everyone got smudged before they went in. Everybody had to stop before they went in the kitchen and set their intention before going in there. And we recognized it. So moving that energy into Saturday, where I was like, you know what? And that's what universe and source keeps telling me. We get caught up in this, and y'all are in the groups and you see it, right? When you start seeing me get on restriction over and over and over and over again, that is telling me one big thing. It is not anything other than I am not in flow, and the universe is telling me stay the hell out of the group because you're not benefiting it. Every stumble, every block is a blessing. Right? I am not allowed to be in our group right now because I am not what's to the highest and best of the group right now because I forgot who the fuck I was. I forgot what I was doing. why I was doing it, right? And the universe will make sure that we know what we're doing, why we're doing. If you right now are somebody who is struggling and struggling and struggling and struggling, I want you to, I've been hitting a wall, where your mind goes, your energy flows. I was seeing the blocks. That was me. I was seeing, that's what and then so therefore that's all I was getting. I was praying for what I didn't want to happen. The worry is praying for things you don't want to happen. So many of you are doing that. How many of you right now are in a really like a cycle of like bullshit? And if you really stop in this moment, take a deep breath, making 3 choices, probably not even 3, maybe even making one decision, changing one thing is going to change all of that. All of us have the ability to change it like that because we start recognizing it's the million micro moves, right? The micro moves. So Friday we started the micro moves. Saturday I was like, you know what? I'm going into this class, 5 students. I don't know. How am I going to be a good instructor? I took time to write a little script up and stuff, but it was about like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? I asked them, we're going down to do this wedding. Why are we doing this? Because we want to spread love and light with every bite. We're trying to spread love and light with every bite. And if we don't take the time to put the love and the light into the bite, then we're not being authentic to ourselves. We are not a mass produced situation. We are light attuned light healers who heal through a food modality. We do healing work. Let's not forget ourselves, right? That's what we do. What is your unique, we can say, what is your unique selling point? What makes you different than other places? I got a message the other night and I'm going to read it to y'all. And, sometimes you just got to remind yourself of these things. You see these things in writing and you're like, wow. And then you really realize this is when the universe is like, there it is. Okay. And I'm going to, let's see. You are, this is what I got. And I had to remind myself, right? Cause I get very like, my feelings hurt and I get in my feelings. We are light workers. We are here to heal through food. That is what we're doing, right? It says, you are just the best. Like your stuff is just better. I don't know why, no matter what it is. Probably the positive power, honestly. And I was like, always, it's definitely the love. And then the person says, the places we have in RVA, we have places in RVA, but it's just really not the same. Also, the lemonade is banging. And she was just, basically saying, um, I sometimes forget that you all, um, we get caught up, and I'm trying to say this in a way because I'm gonna get emotional about it. Um, I often get caught up, like I said, when we're getting like banned and all that stuff. I forget that y'all know what we're about. It's not like I get out of flow thinking that I'm pissing people off or getting on people's nerves or um, people don't, it's a business, it's not about the woo woo. I get caught up in that. Like there's people who get me out of flow because they'll come in and we'll give them the stuff that goes in the bag. And like, I don't need that. I'm not here for that. I'm just here for this. And I'm like, right? And y'all know how it happens for me. It's like, I'm like, why put the energy if all they want is the weed, right? Why do all the things if all they want is the medicine? If they don't want the other stuff, why am I bothering with all the other stuff? And then we just get out of flow and we get into that cycle of just it being nonsense, right? Yes. Heather says, I'm sorry, Elizabeth, she says, my cycle of bullshit has greatly improved and continues to do so since about a week after I was discharged from the hospital. I'm glad that you're doing better. Stay in flow and give yourself grace. And remember that every time you get off of that path, you have the ability to get back on it without going too far off the path, right? Heather says that I am so on the struggle bus myself, but I'm pushing through and reminding myself that I'm in control of my outcome. But just because I know all the things doesn't mean I make the right moves. And I'm going to say this to you, Heather, okay? I'm getting messages in big time the last couple of days because I'm back in flow, I think. The words that came to mind whenever I saw this message for you, Heather, and it's very much resonates with me as well. It's the words power versus force, right? Sometimes allowing things to happen without trying to control them, that new way of being, that's what we have to step into. Just the releasing of the control. We can only control. We can only not even control. We can only be responsible for ourselves, right? So what I am learning is this. Um, I did a meditation last night, and I'm gonna go to. I probably skipped a little bit, but y'all are okay with that because it's a long. I'll make a short story long all day long. We got back in flow. We started really kind of remember what we were about. Saturday morning when we went into the class, I smudged the space. I talked to the ladies about Reiki. I told them we were Reiki infused. I made them take their cake board and write on the bottom of it the intention for the class, like why they're there doing it. We pulled a crystal card, and the crystal card we pulled was soda light, right? And I'm going to read the soda light. This is what I pulled on Saturday for this class. And I'm going to tell y'all how many of you have ever pulled a card? Lots of times I do it for the group, and I feel like, okay, my energy is big today because it's really pulling my energy through and the message for me. Have you ever been giving someone a message and you felt like, remember I say if I'm pointing this way, the thumb's pointing back at me? So soda light says this, and I was picking up a big message for a specific person in the class. I didn't want to freak her out, but whenever I got done reading this, I could see her face. She was like, that was meant for me. And I was like, okay, I don't feel so weird now. But soda light, and I feel like it resonates here today. So I'm going to read this card for y'all. It says, you have something to say. You have a powerful voice. Speak up. You allow your words to flow from your heart, ensuring that your communication is authentic to how you feel. Although it can be much easier to let certain things go unsaid, it's important to have those difficult, even sometimes awkward conversations to express yourself and ask for what you really need. Articulating your thoughts and feelings to others allows them to understand and honor your truth. Through your clear, confident communication, others can hear what your heart is really saying. Core questions. When do you need to speak up for yourself? Where are you not being honest with yourself and others? How would it feel to speak your truth? Communicate. I communicate clearly and others listen to my truth. Today, speak from your heart instead of with your head. And that's about letting go. Speak from your heart, not with your head. When we are in that masculine energy, we're inside of our heads. Because I'm like, if I speak from my heart, my head's going to affect your business in a negative way. The masculine side is like, that's about the doing and the being and all the things. Now, um, when you commit to the process and detach from the outcome, you allow your heart to rule, I think, a little bit more, right? And so many of us, especially me, I get caught up in, all right, I've spent a lot of years letting my heart run the show, is what I thought, right? My heart run the show, and it's got me in trouble. I need to use my head a little bit more. But I'm going to tell you, it's not your heart never gets you in trouble. Your heart never gets you in trouble. Your ego gets you in trouble. And sometimes we confuse the heart for the ego, right? The ego is the thing we need to let sit at the door. And so when I read that, I was like, you know what? That is me. I am very much need to speak my truth. I need to speak from my heart versus my head. I have been trying to tiptoe around all of these little pieces and parts because I was afraid and in that fear place, right? That's why I'm out of flow. Let me get myself back in flow. As I'm listening to podcasts last week, trying to kind of get that, I knew something was off. I listened to my friend Robin's podcast, You're So Fucking Enlightened. And I told y'all about this. I heard Shaman Rivers on there. Well, then I was listening to another episode, and it was her yoga instructor who she learned her yoga classes from. And they were talking about how do you really like make a change in your life? And one of the things that they talked about, it's simple as changing your morning routine. Changing your morning routine. And since I heard that, I really have been trying to change my morning routine just a smidge, just little things, right? I mean, if you say you're going to get up like 3 hours earlier and sit in meditation for an hour every day of the week, then you're going to go run 3 miles and eat a smoothie. I know that I'm not going to do all those things, but I also know that I will do a million micro moves, right? I will get up when my eyes hit the first time when I'm kind of awake. I'll just go ahead and stay up and do some gratitudes. Or I will go back to a routine of listening to my affirmations in the shower. Or I will make sure that when I go outside to get in my car, I take my shoes off and give myself 3 seconds with my feet on the ground of the earth. Um, um, so um, it's those little things, right? And I'm going to address what Heather just said. I'm going to address that what Heather just said because that's exactly where I'm at, Heather, right? And um, I posted a meme yesterday, and I'll read it to y'all. It's on my phone, and this is going to kind of be like the thing that is kind of a precipice to that. It is you're wondering if you're good enough, while everyone else is wondering how you do it all, and then you start feeling like you're not being authentic or not being true, and all of those things. But I believe 100% that you have wisdom on things that you have conquered. And that's where you have the hand up and the hand back. We're always reaching to better ourselves if we're in that place of being of service to ourselves and to others. And we're never, it's a practice, right? We're never going to be perfect as humans. That's the human existence. But we have done things that we have gotten good at, or we can sit, then give our wisdom to others. And that's the reaching down part and helping people out of it. We can't fix anybody. We have no power to do that, period. We have the ability to constantly be a work in progress, to give ourselves the inward look, to do that work, to be a good part of the collective vibration. By doing that, we then lead by example, and like attracts like. Birds of a feather flock together. We're all beautiful messes. I filled my shirt yesterday. So I'm not a hot mess. I'm a spicy disaster. We all are, but we're imperfect humans. And letting go of the judgment of that imperfect part and embracing um, the beauty of the imperfection, that is where the beauty lies. That is where the magic lies, is understanding that we're supposed to be imperfect. That's what we signed up for. We signed up for all this mess. We signed up, our souls like, I want to go imagine like the best love and the worst love, the best of times and the worst of times, right? It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. That is what we are supposed to be doing here. And being able, hang on, y'all, I'm hitting buttons trying to get stuff off of my screen. That is perfectly imperfect, right? You are perfectly imperfect, just like I am. And there's so many things that we're in each other's atmosphere because we're experiencing so many of the same imperfections. And having a tribe of people to be there and support and send love is what does it. That's how we expand. That's how we grow. That's how we raise the collective vibration, one human being at a time. And some days that person has to be you. And when we get out of our brain of knowing that we have to keep ourselves in flow, we get in these situations, right? Our ego, even our higher self, like our ego gets a little bit better, but it gets a little bit drunk, right? Ego drunk. I think all the time, like, okay, I've got shit figured out, and then ego's like, but do you? let's slow you down there, buddy. Like, let's don't do that. And as summer solstice comes up with this light activation, we have an opportunity. We have an opportunity right here and right now to step into that knowing and that loving of ourselves like never before, right? We have the ability to say, I am done with the stinking thinking. I am for sure going to let that go. And when I don't let it go, I'm going to address it immediately and acknowledge it and move along. I'm going to give myself mercy. I'm going to give myself grace, because your own worst enemy is that voice inside of your head. I am listening to an Audible right now. It's called Radical Acceptance. And it talks about like becoming your own best friend. Because when you have that voice inside your head that is constantly nitpicking you, that person's always with you. You're always with yourself. And you don't want to just constantly terrorize your own self-esteem by telling yourselves all the lies that people, the world has told you. So now is the time to let that go and to release that. So here's what we're going to do. If you are local tomorrow here, you are welcome to come here. We have a summer solstice dinner celebration, a midsummer night's gathering planned. If you are virtual, please join us virtually. And I'm going to ask you to go gather yourself a few supplies today. in preparation for summer solstice. And yes, I want you to do it. I want you to like take a breath. I want you to write down some intentions for this. Like, where are some places and some intentions going into the celebration of the sun and the longest day? It's the longest day of the year. The sun is up more than any other time in the northern hemisphere. It is a time to celebrate the energy of the light energy entering us, right? Again, with the light comes the shadow, and it's time for us to address these shadow work pieces. That's why we're feeling anxious, we're feeling dreadful, we're feeling anxiety. It is time for us to look those things in the eye and say, "You don't control me anymore. I am going to step into the light. I am going to accept the light's energy and be a beacon of light. And I understand that there's shadow, and I will address the shadow when I need to address the shadow, and I'll work through the shadow to give myself a brighter light," right? So we're going to do a couple of things. Some things that that's no longer serving, some things that are not working for you anymore. What I want you to do is I want you to write those things down, because we're going to send those, we're going to burn those and get rid of those. Those things no longer serve us. We're going to burn them and give them back to the universe tomorrow. They don't serve us any good. But we're going to take some things that we know to be true about ourselves, some things that we're rooted in. Like, what are the things that you are rooted in? Integrity, honesty, faith, truth, love, light, helping of others. What are the things that are your core principles? And we're going to plant those into each person's planters. We're going to paint these milk jugs. We have a bunch of milk jugs. We're going to upcycle those tomorrow. We're going to take some potting soil. We are going to plant, we're going to paint and decorate our jugs. We are going to fellowship, and we're going to enjoy the outside, joy. We are going to plant those things into our planter boxes, and just like our plants will grow from those positive things, so will we. Um, we're gonna stop asking you to go plant something tomorrow. Go find a spot. Go get yourself either something you can upcycle. You can do a windowsill if you can't go outside. Just get yourself into some sunshine. And we are going to plant things in the garden and the earth tomorrow, because we want to, number one, get our hands in the dirt, to get connected with the planet, because sunshine and water make things grow. And we're going to really embrace that by planting these green milk jug gardens. We're going to zip them out to the back fence. They're going to get water and light. It's going to be amazing. So that being said, if you are not going to be here, I'm going to encourage you. We're going to live plant while we're planning. Do it as a community, even if you do it virtually. Go find people who live near you and invite them to come over and combine energy to do that as a community. I feel like we're being called now together to be as one people, and to fellowship, and to have the energy in person. So if you can find a neighbor, a friend, a sister group, whatever, come virtually. But if you can get them there, get them there. Be your own hometown hippie, right? Um, Perfect. I'm planning an herb garden at home when we join you for the meditation. I love that. And then we're going to do a little meditation at the end of the evening to give thanks to the earth. Now, I am going to also encourage you. Solstice is at 10:58 a.m. exactly tomorrow morning. So at 10:58 a.m., that is the moment of summer solstice. I'm going to ask that you all go outside and get under the sunshine and just give sun salutations, even if it's overcast, even if it's rainy, because that's kind of, I think, what it's going to look like here. I'm going to encourage you to go and give some love back to the sun and to the earth tomorrow. I will be there in spirit. Well, we're going to have you here in spirit. We're very glad for that, Kristen. So let's go ahead and pull a crystal card for our group today, and then I'm going to get off of here. But Saturday, I remembered who I was. Right? Saturday, I remembered who I was. I'm still working on some shadow work, right, through me, and I did some meditations, and I've gotten through that. I know why all the things are happening now. I'm clear. I'm clear. And when I talked earlier to Heather about standing in her power versus forcing things, is because I know for a fact that when we're feeling like we're feeling, and the things are out of flow and all of the things, that we tend to try to force a smile or to force ourselves to be okay, because our head knows it even if our heart hasn't caught up. I'm going to encourage you to let that go. Allow yourself to be kind of wonky until you can get this and this aligned. And I promise you everything will be fine. When you stop trying to force it and you stand in your power of knowing, all is well. I promise you all is well. Um, A lot of this today, I don't even know what I've talked about because I know that I had a different message that I was going to do, but a lot of that was a channeled message, I think. And I'm going to go back and watch it myself to see what that was. But I do know I need to pull a crystal card for all of us today. We are going to do some breaths in through our nose. We're going to inhale the good, exhale the bad. Take a couple more big inhales in through your nose. I want you to concentrate on a message that you need today. What is the message that you need today from the cards? A problem, a situation. This card just jumped out, so obviously this is what that just jumped out on me. I don't know what it is. Ooh. Here you go, y'all. It's rhodonite. Find a way to forgive. And I feel like this resonates across the board for lots of us. Rhodonite, find a way to forgive. And that's our message today, is to find a way to forgive. QRS, rhodonite. Okay. There's freedom in forgiveness. It's natural to react when others hurt or betray us, but you can move past the first layers of blame, resentment, anger, disappointment, or frustration. You can free yourself from this negativity and toxicity. When you are able to forgive, you empower yourself rather than letting your emotions have power over you. Forgiving someone, however, doesn't mean that you condone what they have done. It simply allows you to release your ties to that experience so you can move on. At its core, all forgiveness is self-serving. Core questions. This is a great core question for the group this week. Are you holding any grudges or holding on to resentment or anger towards someone in your life? What would it feel like to forgive? Journal through that this week. Are you holding on to these feelings with someone in your life? And then I want you to journal through. I know that we could all probably answer this yes. This is very much a general consensus. So many of us struggle with this specific thing, through traumas, through whatever. When you can go into forgiveness, that's when you start taking that step out of victim into victor. And that's when you stop running like the cow and you start charging like the bull. These are the micro moves. Forgiveness is the first step. And sometimes that forgiveness is for ourselves. Crystal action. Here's your affirmation. Forgiveness starts with me. Today, choose one person, yourself or another, and start moving towards forgiveness. Start with forgiving yourself today. Start with saying, I'm not mad at myself. I'm sorry that I'm mad at you for being out of flow. I'm sorry that I didn't do, the morning moves. Start forgiving yourself today. Start knowing and releasing the old way of doing things. Let's step into that intuitive, higher vibrating energy. Go ahead and get your dinners ordered. We're going to see how many we have left. Get here tomorrow night. We're going to start at 6. If you want to come early and go play with your milk jug, if you need some time out in the Zen Den, we understand it. We have rearranged some things around here. We are going to be doing pork chops or chicken, an option with that, some grilled Brussels sprouts, some rice pilaf, some delicious dinner, some dinner rolls, all those things this week. Some grilled food, so it's like good earth energy food, some highly vibrational food, nothing fried, everything's grilled and steamed, and vegetables and delicious, good, healthy proteins for us this week. There'll probably be some salad and stuff out. There'll be some snacks here. So I know that the world is tough right now. I know that there are lots and lots of things that the media, stay off TV, stay off all the news stuff, because all of that energy of fear and fear mongering and warmongering and all these things keep us in this heavy, anxious, out of flow energy. Allow yourself the freedom and the allow yourself joy, right? Allow yourself to step in to the victor stance. Allow yourself the win, because you deserve it. You are worth it. I'm glad that you're here. I appreciate you tuning in today. We are getting everybody's orders out. We're working really hard on that. We do have some What's Up Wednesday. We'll start, our meditation around What's Up Wednesday around 7 tomorrow night is what I'm guessing. And then I'll be posting, or I'll have a brand ambassador post all of the links to do that. I'm thinking we might come live with that. I think that's a good option here. If we can get it, we might go Zoom and then have someone broadcast that into the private group. Um, we are going to, I'm really working on making that a really nice meditation for everybody involved. Don't forget, if you can, bring a yoga mat or chair, something to sit on that's comfortable for you. We're gonna get ourselves set up to be all in a good space. I may even pull the bowls out a little bit and just play a little bit of moving some energy around from the base, and just feel that if we align the chakras through the meditation tomorrow night, and we release that energy that no longer serves us, let's move it out. If you are feeling shitty, if you are feeling bad, that is stuck energy in your body. It is time to move it through. So tomorrow night's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be our June event, which is going to be our summer solstice event. Elizabeth Clark is working on a game night. We're going to play some Uno or some Cards Against Humanity. We're going to have a little tournament. We're going to do that. We got that coming up. We're going to do some dinner with that as well. And on that note, y'all, I love you all so very much. Allow yourself some grace today. Allow yourself some forgiveness today. If you have anything that you need, please let us know. Our last call, when I get off of here today, I'm going to be taking off the Father's Day stuff. We have some individual cookies that will be left, but the boxes are sold out, and the trios are gone. We're going to put last counts on everything. I think we got like 4 of every cookie left. So if you want to get one of those cookies, you need to get one while you can. We are finalizing. We also are going to do last call on Munchie of the Month boxes for June. We're getting a low quantity on those. That's a lot of milligrams. Y'all don't want to miss those. Get on that. Get that ordered. We love you. We appreciate you. We have got some fun stuff coming up. So much fun stuff coming up for everybody. And know that you are appreciated. You are appreciated. And know that all the things that we do for the highest and best of the community. If you need anything, let us know. We're here for you. On that note, as y'all all know how we're going to end this live, I'm going to go ahead and take this down. See, oh, yay, Melanie's coming. I'm going to take this down. We're going to do this. We're going to take that off. We're going to take that off. We're going to put that up. And as always, y'all, peace, love, and feast. And as always, stay elevated. I will see y'all soon. Have a great day.